It's Tuesday, the 19th of December. Hello, kia ora. I'm Philip Duncan, and thanks for joining us as we take a look at the forecast, counting down to Christmas Day and including Christmas Day and Boxing Day as well. Let's have a look at the animated wind map. Easterly winds to the north of the country, curving down, and we've got northerlies in many places, although northeasterlies along the eastern coastline for some of you means it may not be quite as hot for just a few of you. But inland, some areas are getting pretty warm, and as we go through into Wednesday and the nor'westers return, many places will be back into the late 20s or even getting into the 30s. Over in Australia, you've got a hot northerly flow coming down, meeting with a colder southerly flow coming up, producing thunderstorms and heavy showers across New South Wales and up to the Queensland border. Let's have a look at temperatures in New Zealand, the departure from normal today and tomorrow. That's Tuesday this side, Wednesday on this side. And you're seeing a lot of red, especially in the South Island here. Many places tomorrow getting into the late 20-degree mark and into the 30s. And we do expect quite a few places inland in the South Island to be into that hot area. The North Island, not quite as hot. Western areas, a little bit cooler with that breeze coming through. But still, inland areas leaning to the east, you're definitely feeling the heat over the next couple of days. And on top of that, pretty warm nights as well. The cloud cover keeping temperatures well up from where they were a week or so ago. In Australia, the departure from normal, you can see today that colder change coming through, so that's why you see the blue there. And we go to tomorrow, Wednesday, and that expands further up. So we'll be seeing those heavy showers starting to ease. And these bottom maps show places that are over 40 degrees today and tomorrow. The areas in pink over 45 degrees out there in the desert, but people live in these areas too. So it will be a pretty hot burst of weather for Western Australia, on top of the dry weather you've just had recently. And we've got a rain map for Aussie. We've got another one for New Zealand, but it doesn't show up until the weekend. So we'll get through a couple of days and show you the New Zealand one. But the Australian one for 72 hours from now shows over 100 millimetres possible out here, once again, between Brisbane and Sydney and inland. That'll be welcome, I'm sure, by quite a few people. And the good news is up here around Cairns, that rain is tapering right off. So let's have a look at Wednesday's setup in New Zealand, in the southeastern corner of Australia. You can see New Zealand's under this warmer airflow. So northeasterly winds for some of you, nor'westers elsewhere. The nor'westers will be the warmest. So on Wednesday, the South Island and the eastern North Island, you'll be the areas seeing the highest temperatures. And that westerly breeze through Cook Strait means Taranaki, Manawatu, Wanganui, coastal areas down to about Kapiti Coast won't be quite as warm. Bit of wet weather over there in Australia. Sorry, the sign's right over the top of you if you live behind that, but just a few showers in there for you. So by Thursday, those showers move up towards Brisbane, clearing out in many other places. This is an easterly flow, which I've got to point out to you comes all the way from South America. This easterly wind just goes on and off to the Indian Ocean. So quite a long easterly flow at the moment. That's why it's so windy in Perth and hot and dry. New Zealand, pretty much settled and dry with high pressure connecting up. So that easterly flow is to the north of the country, just starting to curve in at the top here. And that's why we're feeling a bit of a subtropical breeze. Doesn't change a great deal on Friday. You can still see that breeze coming down, and then it heads off into Australia. So the eastern side of Aussie, Sydney, Newcastle, Port Macquarie, Grafton, Brisbane, all of those eastern areas are going to be cloudier and obviously wetter the further north you go. And the flip side in New Zealand is the rain now comes in to the west coast. Maybe some spillover down into Southland, high pressure all over you. So it may be a drizzly, kind of patchy rainfall, or it may not even form until a bit later on in the day. So keep an eye on your hourly forecast to make more sense of that. So going into the weekend, well, it's a big weekend as we count down to Christmas Day. High pressure to the north and to the south, but we've got low pressure in the Tasman, and that is going to be, what do they say, the fly in the ointment, or whatever that saying is, as we go in towards Christmas Day, because we've got rain coming on in. So this is the 3-day rainfall from Saturday morning, Saturday, Sunday, Christmas Day. This could still change a wee bit, but most of the rain falling on the west coast, where you could be seeing over 100 millimetres of rain over those 3 days. Now, to the top of the country and the east here, not very much in the way of rain. So it may be cloudy and a bit drizzly. We still aren't really totally sure about exactly how Christmas Day is shaping up. We're going to show you that map in a moment, but you can see we do have rain coming in, at least to the west coast. So here we are on Christmas Eve. There is that west coast rain, a little bit spilling over to the side here, but that's a northeasterly. So that rain is sort of moving over the southern Alps and then being blocked by the high pressure zone. And that encourages a northeasterly. So you get that kind of drizzly, patchy rain. And over in Australia, you got thunderstorms, heavy showers with a southerly coming into Adelaide, but a warm northerly from Sydney to Canberra. So let's go into the big day. Christmas Day, here we are. Northerly winds coming down over New Zealand, subtropical for the North Island. So I think at this stage, Christmas Day looks cloudy around a lot of New Zealand with higher humidity, northerly winds coming through. And in the north here, it may well be quite dry. High pressure is just here. The pale blue means the risk of a shower. So with this setup, maybe some drizzle in the morning, breaks up, clears up a bit, and then in the afternoons, maybe a few showers. Could be a little bit heavy here and there as well. So that's the early indicator for the North Island. For the South Island, rain on the west coast spills over elsewhere. And again, because we've got a bit of low pressure, kind of pushes it back into Canterbury in a strange sort of setup. So this could still change a wee bit. We're seeing weak low pressure blocked by this big area of high pressure. And so exactly how that shapes up will make all the difference as to where the drizzle and the rain ends up going. But look at Boxing Day. It clears up quite a bit. These are afternoon thunderstorms and showers for the most part. Humid weather carrying on. It's going to be another warm day, Christmas Day around New Zealand this year. The South Island may be the sunniest as we get into Boxing Day. We're not ready to lock this in yet. We still need another day or two really to confirm it, and we might even have a weekend update just to keep you up to date. And Australia, a big area of low pressure on Boxing Day for you, drives in some showers for Hobart, plenty of showers and winds for Melbourne. Canberra borderline, and Sydney looks warm and dry, as does Brisbane, and most of you in between. So we'll have more details about this. Our next video on Wednesday, we have our special Australia only update. We're bringing it forward one day this week. So it'll be on Wednesday this week. And later on today, we've got our 7-day Pacific Island forecast. That is our last one for this year. And I got to say, it's looking kind of quiet, which is a good thing. We don't need a tropical cyclone. We don't need any more. We all want, including weather forecasters, a couple of weeks to, enjoy a bit of summer. So we'll see how we go. We've got more videos this week. No videos on Friday, but like I say, we might do a special update at the weekend to cover off Christmas and Boxing Day. That's all from me for today, though. We'll catch you again tomorrow.